Hi, I'm Pranav VK, the CEO and founder of the Intraday Expert, and welcome back to this video. In this video, you're going to learn exactly about how to manage your money so that you'll be able to plan for your goals accordingly. In the previous video on financial freedom, you understood how much money is exactly needed for you to achieve financial freedom. But then in this video, you're going to learn how to go about it and do it. So if you have not watched the previous video, then I highly recommend that you go ahead and watch the previous video so that you're clear about what is the goal that you want to achieve. In this video, you're going to learn the exact steps, where to invest the money and how to go about it. Of course, this is not a recommendation, but this is a basic framework that can help you realize what is the potential of investing money in the right places. I hope you enjoy the video and I'm gonna see you on the inside. Imagine your financial life is like a garden. Your money box, so to say, is the soil where everything grows. Now, if you just scatter seeds randomly, that's like spending without a plan. You might end up with a wild, unruly garden, or worse, no plants at all. But if you prepare your soil, that's your spend it account for day to day expenses. The invest it account is like planting perennials that grow over time. And the emergency fund is like a patch of hardy plants that can survive a sudden storm. The medical and life insurance are like the fence around your garden, protecting it from unexpected visitors. Then you have the sections of your garden for different seasons. The almost there 1 to 3 years, wherein you're going to put in blooms that show up fast and brighten up your garden quickly. And 3 to 7 years goals is for those plants that take a little longer to show their flowers, like fruit bushes. And 7 years or more, the goals that you have, which are greater than 7 years, are like the big trees that take the longest to grow, but will eventually provide shade and fruit for years to come. Your retirement fund is that comfy bench in the shade where you'll relax and enjoy the view later. Gold is the sparkling pond. It just sits there looking beautiful and valuable. And real estate is like buying more land for your garden to grow bigger. Finally, your will is the gardening plan you leave behind, making sure your garden can keep blooming even when you're not the one planting. Now let's get into the Excel sheet. So as discussed earlier, in our money box, we have multiple cells. The first two cells represent the two different types of bank accounts we need to have. The first one is called the spend it account, where you can have a joint bank account with your partner, parents, or child. And the second one is called the invest it account, where it can be an individual account for each partner. Once you get your salary, if you divide your spend it account and invest it account, it becomes very easy for you to spend the money that you want to guilt free. Now, once these two cells are clear, the third thing that you have to work on is the emergency funds. Now, emergency funds should be in the form of an FD, and FD with sweep in facility is much more a better option. But whereas if you have the understanding of mutual funds, then it is highly recommended that you would also go and do debt mutual funds with AAA rating. Again, when I say recommendation, this is only a framework, and please consult your personal financial advisor to help you with this in detail. The fourth thing is mandatory to have a medical insurance, because even though you're in a specific company, it's very important that you have an additional medical insurance apart from what the company gives you. Imagine you leave your company or you lose your job for any reason. At that point of time, that medical insurance becomes void. And if you buy a new insurance, it takes 3 to 4 years to overcome that pre-existing disease waiting period. So it's highly recommended that you take a medical insurance beforehand. And personally, I have used Zerodha for consultation, which is Ditto by Zerodha for consultation. So, I think it's a good place for you to go ahead and book a call with them to understand it. This is no kind of advice, and I don't have any collaboration with them. This is just from personal experience. Life insurance, again, have a simple term plan without any kind of ULIP, money back, or endowment schemes, and 8 to 10 times of your annual income. It should cover that much. So let's say your annual income is 20 lakhs, then the cover should be for 2 crores. Many people in India, because of the commission-based industry, have a lot of term insurances with money back plans. which have very, very low returns when calculated the right way. So it's very important that you go back and check about your insurances so that you can use that excess cash that you have to other assets which can give you more money. Now, once these 5 cells are cleared, the next thing we have to focus on is the almost there 1:3, 1 to 3 years. Now, what is this 1 to 3 years? What do you want to achieve in the next 1 to 3 years? Do you have any goals that require financial assistance? Then you have to start saving up for that or investing for it. And it is recommended not to have more than 25% equity exposure if the time horizon is less than 3 years, because the market volatility for short term can actually cause a havoc for you. For example, imagine you have invested in equities for goals less than 3 years and the year was 2020. What would you do? The market was its lowest, right? So that's the reason if your horizon is greater than 7 years or near to 7 years, that is when the majority of your exposure should be in equity. Now, next is in some time 3 to 7 years goals. So for nearer to 3 years, be a little tilted towards debt funds, but whereas nearer to 7 years, aggressive hybrid funds and diversified equity funds would be a good choice. Now, the next cell is faraway investments for more than 7 years. Now, 100% into equity is a good option if it is greater than 7 years. Diversified equity funds, multi-cap mutual funds with less percentage in mid and small caps. If it is beyond 10 years, increasing the proportion of small cap and mid cap funds would make sense. And this is exactly where your trading income also comes into picture. The goal for your trading is not for 1 to 3 years or 3 to 7 years as well. The goal for your trading income is for your goals that you want to achieve 10 years down the lane. And that is where your trading income comes into picture. The next thing is retirement funds. The retirement funds, the core of it is basically going to be your provident fund and public provident fund and EPF as well. And the rest of it should come into equity, because automatically, if depending on your age, if you're in your 30s, then larger allocation to small and mid cap and sectoral funds. And if it is 40s or early 50s, then it's better to be conservative with large cap and diversified equity and multi cap funds. Now, coming to gold and real estate, gold, if you wanted to make it as an investment, then it's highly recommended to go for an ETF or SGB to overcome the brokerages, right? So the physical delivery, the charges of all of that. So instead, go for sovereign gold bonds or ETFs that can save you all of the trouble. And it will automatically be the purest form of gold that you can invest in. Real estate, it's highly preferable to have just one property that you live in and nothing more than that. In case of my more buying and selling, have a look at the section 54 and 54F of the Income Tax Act as of November 2023 to identify what are the tax inclusions and exclusions. And the last part of your money box is going to be the will. It's okay and important to write a will so that the assets you're leaving behind for your family is clearly planned and not in a mess, especially when you have kids. So make sure that your money box has all of these things so that you can have and lead a peaceful financial future. At least finances will never be a problem in your life again. Now, the next part is most people have an issue in identifying what should be the way of funding your trading account or capital. So I've made a small list of places and things from where you can fund it and what is it that I don't recommend. The first thing is you can pledge your portfolio to fund your capital. So what this means is you can use a part of your long-term investments to fund your trading. In the event, I'm going to probably explain a bit in depth as to how this works. The next thing is if you have too many FDs and RDs or real estate or any assets that is giving you lower return, then you can liquidate accordingly and invest the same in GSECs or gilt funds and use that capital for trading. Now, all of this funding for your capital has to come only after you have completed allocating your funds for everything that was discussed above. Don't use your emergency funds, right? So the third way is if you already have additional reserve cash, more than what is required in the above baskets, then this cash can be used for trading. Now, what is not okay? Again, this is a personal choice, but this is what I feel is the way to go about it. Don't take any kind of loan for funding your trading capital. It might be mortgaging properties, personal loan, hand loan, etc. Nothing. Don't take loans because that is going to hamper your psychology to a very, very large extent. This is the worst way of funding your trading account. And the other thing that is not okay is using up your emergency funds. Now imagine you have 12 months worth of emergency funds that is saved up so that it can help you during your emergency times. And instead, if you fall for your short term greed and if you use up this emergency funds for trading and not perform there, then you will end up losing your emergency funds and that financial cushion that it could have helped you. So I hope you got understanding of what should be the allocation of assets and how you have to manage your salary or income that you're having so that you have planned for the present as well as the future. Hope this was helpful and let me know in the comment section what was your biggest takeaway. And I'm going to see you on the inside. See you in the live event.